Well, wasn't that fun, you guys? I have one last author to introduce you to, and I promised you this at the beginning, and I always keep my promises. My mom said a promise is a debt. So this is your opportunity to see what a two-time best-selling author looks like, an international two-time bestseller. She is the author of The Art of Forgiveness. That was her first book, and now the author of The Art of Romance. Love, sex, and dating on your own terms. The Reverend Stephanie Wild. Come join me out here.
Hi, Angela.
Hello.
Hi.
Well, I always love your stories. And I know that forgiveness is really at the heart of everything you do.
That's absolutely true. That's my path to enlightenment.
So, how do we go from forgiveness to romance, and who is this book for?
Right. How do we go from forgiveness to romance? Well, most of us, and I would say anyone who's interested in this book, has gone through some kind of heartbreak, some kind of betrayal, some kind of pain, loss of a romantic partner, anything like that. And any of those wounds, those spiritual wounds, can be healed through forgiveness. So let's start there. Now, once we've done that, let's go on to creating the romantic life of our dreams. Because if we're going to drag that baggage in,
It's not good for romance.
No,
I've tried.
Yeah, I think I have too. We probably all have. And so, but we still want to take that sense of forgiveness, that willingness to forgive, into every romantic relationship, probably every relationship in life. But let's stick to romance, because if we can do that and remain soft and open to someone, that is going to allow joy and happiness in. So I try to forgive every moment of every day, right? You know, someone annoys me, I forgive you.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, one of the things that I love about the message in The Art of Romance is something I learned from Marianne Williamson. We're both big Marianne Williamson fans. She just had a birthday. Which I saw. Yes. So happy birthday, Marianne. Cool. So one of the things she said is most of us go into romance and we see romance as a frame. And we're looking for the picture. We're like, oh, do you look good in this frame? Do you look good in this frame? And what Marianne says, and I think this is so resonant in your book, is you should look at people as a picture and then decide what kind of frame you want to put on it.
Oh, yeah, that's very, very interesting. Right. So, yes, I would put it a slightly different way, but that's definitely it. We want to be open to whatever wonderful, juicy mess this person is going to bring to us. Because if we go into relating to someone wanting to make it a certain way, that's ego, that's brittle, that's going to cause us pain. So absolutely, yeah, we want to go in with an open heart.
Yeah, totally. Well, I'm going to ask you some of our questions here from our audience. Kay from Texas, when you've now written two books, and you're also a writer in many other forms.
Right.
People can find you on Medium, and
right,
there's
exactly.
lots of your good stuff out there. Kay from Texas says, how do you work through writer's block? And Valerie from Des Moines had the same question. How do you overcome writer's block? So writer's block, advice from a writer.
I don't get writer's block.
Ever? You don't?
No, never. I think it's...
Why do you think you don't get it? Yeah.
Yeah, because I just keep going. I just keep going. It doesn't matter what mood I'm in, whether I'm hungry or cold or hot or tired, just keep going. I mean, and it doesn't matter if I keep going for a minute or 10 or 3 hours. I don't put any conditions on it. Just keep going like it's a job. I mean, we keep breathing, so you just keep writing. You say it by you keep writing forward.
Keep writing forward.
Right.
Yeah, that doesn't mean you don't throw out a lot of stuff, by the way.
Oh, that's a great point. It doesn't have to be perfect. No. You just keep writing, just like we keep breathing. Like we don't think every breath we take has to be perfect or something. Just keep going. Just keep going and figure it.
Well, what happens, I think, when I keep writing, this is why I actually give all my clients temporary tattoos that say keep writing forward, is like just by committing to writing like it is a job, very often the words find you. Don't you find? Do you ever
Absolutely.
look back at what you read and you're like, who wrote this? It's pretty good.
Oh, all the time. Absolutely all the time. I was thinking back to writing this book, and I can't really remember how I started or exactly what happened. And so I look back and I think, yeah, that's pretty good. It's yeah, you just keep going, open yourself to the universe, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really do think that's the answer. Sonia from Arlington Heights wants to know what inspires you to write. I want to know that too.
What inspires me to write? I think what inspires me to write is wanting to express what others are afraid to feel and what they're afraid to go through. and get teary now.
that was...
Because people are so afraid of suffering, I've done a lot of it, so I can write that for you, and you can read it, and you don't have to go through all of that suffering that I did. That's why I do it.
Well, that's the servant's heart right there. You're a mom. You have 2 kids.
Yep.
Your first book, you also had a full-time job. I think you got to write this one without having a full-time job.
Yeah.
But one of our audience members says, I'm a mom of 3. How realistic is my goal to write a book with so many activities going on? Oh, and I should say, you live in New York City, land of many activities going on.
Oh yeah, land of many activities and high rents that you have to hustle to make that rent. Oh my God. And I'm a single mother. Yeah, so it's all on me. So what I did was I set aside half a day every Saturday, and I didn't do any cleaning. So my apartment did not get cleaned for 9 weeks, and I just had to be okay with that. Something has to give. So you just decide what it is. Is it the laundry? Are you gonna maybe get some paper plates for 9 weeks?
Oh, did you know Norris tells that story?
Oh, she does?
Yeah, that's exactly one of our authors is mom of 2, has her own business, and one of her secrets was we went for 9 weeks, paper plates.
Well, so yeah, there you go. Something's got to give. Pick it.
Yep. So worth it. So powerful. All right. Heather from Florida says, many say the first step is the hardest, but I find the last leg to be the greatest barrier. How did you rally the courage to finish the book?
Oh boy. Yeah. How did I rally the courage to finish? Well, I think thinking about others who could be helped by me being brave enough to be vulnerable to the world. I knew, like we all know, that we all share the same fears, emotions, anger, shame, confusion, all of that stuff. We're all human. We're all here on earth to figure all that stuff out. And I just trusted in people's goodness, I suppose.
Wait, I want to fix one thing with that because you said trusted, and I want Heather to know the real word there is trust. Because just because it's the launch day, just because she finished the manuscript, just because you have to really live in that trust as an author every day.
Yeah, and I know you're referring to I freaked out recently. I said, people are going to read this book now. People are going to read about my sex life.
No one get this book. Do not click on the Amazon link. Don't read the book.
Yeah, people are going to read about my fears and desires and things that I'm used to be ashamed of. I'm not ashamed anymore because, as I said, we all share these feelings and emotions. But so yeah, trust in others and know that it will help others. That's it.
And you've seen that happen. How do you tell people how you work with people? How do people find you, and what do you do?
Okay. Well, I'm an intuitive counselor. Some people call me a psychic therapist, which is kind of. I'm not a qualified therapist, but I'm a spiritual counselor. I'm an ordained spiritualist minister, which means I'm a psychic medium. So I combine all of this with life experience, and you can come to me, and I will help you to become intimate with your energy body, your purpose on earth. I can tune into your spirit guides, and I can tune into you psychically, your past, your present, your future. And I like to concentrate on relating. I like to concentrate on relationships, and especially romantic relationships, because I believe that that is what we are here on earth to do. We are here on earth to have romantic relationships so that we can figure out our spiritual values and find happiness.
Love that. I want to show everyone your book. It is The Art of Romance, Love, Sex, and Dating on Your Own Terms. This is Stephanie Wild. I'm going to ask you to hang out with me as we close this out. We have loved, I'll speak for myself, but hopefully you've loved it too. We have loved sharing this time with you before we go to our launch party to celebrate. Sharing these books with you means so much because we have seen the way people's lives are transformed by our authors standing up, sharing their stories, putting out their vulnerable selves. And your first book was very vulnerable too. And that's, I believe, how we heal the world. I really, really believe that. I know that sounds audacious and crazy, but the only way that I have found hope and healing and transformation in my life has been people before me, people who went before me, lighting the way. That is what our authors do every day. And by the way, they light the way for me too. And that's why I love my job. I get paid to read amazing books. So if there is a message in your heart, if there is a story, pain you've been through, times you felt vulnerable, and somebody helped you, maybe it was with a book, maybe it was a class, maybe it was a friend, but if somebody who was ahead of you on the path helped you to find your way, and you're thinking, if you have the little spiritual nudge, the little whisper, maybe you're seeing signs. My signs are always feathers. Do you have a sign you see?
No, I just feel it. It just feels right. Kind of like a boat on the ocean.
Yeah, or what's that thing people do, like body dousing, right? Like if you feel that calling, and you know what I say about my authors is the one thing they have in common is very often their book is keeping them up at night before they start writing it.
Oh, yes.
It's like knock, knock,
Right.
knock. Knock, knock, knock.
Yeah.
So if you are getting that knock, I want to help you get your message out in the world too. The best way to do that is to jump in our line. Right now we have a backlog. Yesterday we had a backlog of about 140. I'm hoping we cleared 20 or 30 of those out today. But jump in line at theauthorincubator.com/apply. What you'll do there is you will share your story. You will tell us about your book and about your goals. And I'll tell you what we're looking for is we're looking for people like Stephanie who really have that commitment to serving others. We're listening for your servant's heart. We will be looking at your writing, so please write as well as you can. That's a piece of it, but we want to know your message. We want to know your heart, and we want to know your commitment. Are you willing to have your kids eat on paper plates? Because if you're asking a question and you're saying like, maybe this is hard, maybe it'll take up too much time, maybe I'm not good enough, I can tell you that is the answer you will get. Whatever questions you ask, those are the answers you will get. And if you are asking yourself, how can I make a difference with a book? Then we can tell you the answer that gets you on this stage in 4 or 5 months and getting your book out in the world and helping people. So again, the authorincubator.com/apply. I am so passionate about this because books saved my life. Would you say that?
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
What's
Yes.
give me a book that saved your life. We have a
Uh,
shared book that saved both of our lives.
Oh, A Course in Miracles. Yes.
I did. I read A Course in Miracles every day for 3 years. And I don't know if I'd be here if it weren't for that book.
Yeah, that's great. That dissolves illusions. Yeah, it's not for the faint of heart.
Not an easy book to read. Stephanie's book is easier to read, by the way. But yeah, books change my life. Books save my life. I think
Absolutely.
many of our authors feel that way. Maybe you feel that way too. Our goal at the Author Incubator and why we do everything we do here is changing the world one book at a time. Thanks for being with us.